Imagine this. You're 15 years old, your face is on every magazine cover, millions of people are screaming your name, and yet, you feel completely unsafe. That was Justin Bieber's reality. Instead of protection, he got exploitation. Instead of guidance, he got hate. Instead of safety, he was surrounded by adults who crossed every boundary possible, from creepy interview questions to hands-on encounters caught on camera. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the public turned him into a global punchline, with memes, late-night jokes, even violent fantasies about his death. But the real twist, when Justin thought he found salvation in faith, he may have just walked into something darker. Stick around, because by the end of this video, we'll talk about the one rumored documentary that could finally reveal the entire truth about how fame almost destroyed Justin Bieber. The rise and the first cracks. Justin Bieber's story begins like a fairy tale. A small-town kid posting videos on YouTube at 12, discovered by Scooter Braun, mentored by Usher, and overnight, turned into one of the biggest teen idols in history. But here's the problem. No one prepared him for the dark side of fame. By his own admission, Justin started experimenting with substances as early as 12 or 13. It began with weed, but quickly escalated into harder drugs. In one of his documentary episodes, he revealed that his habits were so extreme his security team would check his pulse while he slept, afraid he might not wake up. Think about that. While millions of fans were screaming his name, Justin was quietly slipping into dangerous territory. But the drugs were only a symptom. The real disease was the environment around him. While the industry sold the image of a squeaky clean teenage heartthrob, behind the scenes, adults were constantly crossing lines. In 2010, a red carpet reporter asked 15-year-old Justin if his mom had given him the sex talk. Imagine being asked that on live TV as a kid. In 2011, James Corden told 16-year-old Justin how good he smelled, before touching his face. Katy Perry grabbed his butt. Jenny McCarthy kissed him on the neck and groped him on stage at the AMAs, making Justin's first words into the mic, "Wow, I feel violated." Even Justin knew it was wrong. He pushed back, called it out, but he was ignored. To Hollywood, it was just funny. Question for you guys. Do you think the media would get away with this today, or was Justin's generation especially unprotected? Comment below, because this part of his story still shocks people. Mini tease. But if you think adults failed him, wait until you see how the public treated him. The hate machine. For every believer who loved him, there was a hater who despised him. And the hate wasn't subtle, it was an entire industry. Justin was mocked in interviews, torn apart online, and turned into the punchline of every late-night show. South Park, Family Guy, and even movies like Zoolander 2 all featured jokes about killing him. CSI literally ended his cameo with Justin being shot to death. Online, things were even darker. Flash games like Bieber Bash and Throw Bieber let players torture and kill virtual versions of him. One popular game bragged about having over 300,000 players, all laughing at his pain. And if you think it was just edgy internet humor, think again. In real life, 2 men were arrested in a plot to assassinate Justin Bieber. Yes, you heard that right. Someone actually wanted to kill a teenager for being famous. Meanwhile, fans who adored him also added to the pressure. The Bieber fever craze led to mobs chasing him through airports, fans camping outside hotels, and even breaking into his family home. Half the world hated him, and the other half treated him like an object. Living in that extreme, where people either worship you or want you dead, is enough to break anyone. Were you Team Bieber or Team Anti-Bieber, back in the day? Be honest, because a lot of people who once clowned him are now admitting they regret it. Mini tease. But the darkest chapter wasn't the hate. It was the moment Justin thought he found peace in faith, only to end up in something much more controversial. Hillsong and Pastor Carl, the father figure, or something else. After years of chaos, Justin turned to religion. He joined Hillsong, a global megachurch that was exploding in popularity with celebrities. The church promised healing, stability, and faith. What Justin got instead? More headlines, more exploitation, and more speculation. At the center of it all was Pastor Carl Lentz, a charismatic preacher Justin once called a second father. The two were inseparable. going on trips, attending recording sessions, even reportedly living together for a period of time. One infamous Hillsong conference interview showed Justin brushing his teeth on stage, leaning on Carl's shoulder, and saying he just wanted to love Carl more. The clip went viral, not because of faith, but because of how bizarre and uncomfortable it looked. Not long after, Justin canceled his entire Purpose World Tour, citing exhaustion and later saying he wanted to rededicate his life to Christ. Fans believed Carl was the driving force. But by 2020, Carl himself was exposed in a scandal involving affairs and accusations of Hillsong exploiting members for money and fame. The church was later hit with a documentary series, Hillsong Exposed, which revealed years of abuse, misconduct, and corruption. Justin quickly distanced himself, calling Carl out for using him, and walking away from the church altogether. Looking back, it feels like Justin escaped one toxic system, only to walk into another. And here's where the speculation gets juicy. Some fans believe Justin is preparing to finally tell his entire story in a new project. The bigger picture. Justin Bieber's life is a perfect example of how fame can chew people up and spit them out. He was exploited by adults who should have protected him. He was mocked and hated by the public for sport. He was pulled into a church that used his fame to grow their brand. He fought addictions that nearly killed him. And yet, he's still here. Married, making music, and more self-aware than ever. But even now, people speculate whether Justin has truly healed, or whether fame left scars that will never go away. Do you think Justin has finally found peace, or is he still trapped in the cycle of fame? Drop your thoughts below. Here's the bombshell. Insiders claim Justin is planning a tell-all documentary, one that could expose some of the biggest names in music, Hollywood, and religion. If that happens, everything we just talked about might only be scratching the surface. Would you watch it? And do you think Justin will name names, or keep it vague? Before you click away, if this video opened your eyes to the darker side of fame, then you have to check out our breakdown of Justin and Selena's hidden album connections. The symbolism in their lyrics will shock you. Click right here to keep the juice flowing.